This is when you can pay them. Nurses allowances. Government owes, in some cases, 30 months. Some people have gone into school from first year to third year, completed and never got an allowance. Government is pretending to pay the allowances for political expediency. And, well, we were substituting it with the students' loan. The students were not happy.
To this end, for the 2017-2018 academic year, effective September 2017, 58,000 health trainees, comprising nurses and midwives, will be paid their allowance of 400 Ghana cedis per person.
We don't want Alawa, we want employment. We want to be employed. Yes, Alawa should be classing and employment should be there. Yes, and our fees is too much.
Because employing us more than 2 years, they are not paying. So what's the essence of you promise?
All right, Abusia, me mamungi na kwa ba de ba K-Lover Media so. But more than also be subscribe to the channel na my. Mr. Subscribe to the channel for us. Na Oman penny that John Drama ni Mahama and ne to or Upper East just a campaign no just to the ding. Now come on dear hold on a question now. He see all your media engagement, right? We a crowd I'm see my media story more fast because now seeing a media no name some training nurses be interview or Upper East region now omo can say training allowances no say be ya ka wontwem na because there's no job in the system. Abusia some video ni trending our social media pa cover what I wish I more share and after so man penny media engagement man penny that na John Dramani Mahama the media engagements are ekoso Upper East regional media they be about these training allowances Charlie what church and same nature money chair what memoir share 2016 during the presidential encounter with John Dramani Mahama what church mu ninti amano cancel ara no person cancel or cancel training allowances no abusia we K-Lover Media Lovers TV Africa so we show YouTube but money also go subscribe to the channel my yes shall what nin church mu 2016 ninti amano cancel sa allowances Yaba, Nafi, Yaba, Betwas. But money also subscribe to the channel my way, Lovers TV Africa, and of course, K-Lover Media.
With regards to, let me explain once again, and I hope for the last time. Teacher trainee allowances, nursing trainee allowances. Teacher trainee allowances, for reasons of equity, they used to be training colleges. And they used to issue Set A and Set B teacher training certificates. We decided that these colleges should be upgraded to colleges of education and become universities and issue degrees like Cape Coast, like Winneba and all. We did that and we upgraded them. And so they come out with the same certificate that their colleagues in Cape Coast and Winneba and Legon come out with. But because we were paying trainee allowances when it was teacher Set A and B, at that time, we were not producing enough graduate teachers, and we had a lot of pupil teachers in the system. Everybody wanted to go to SAFOM and go to university. Nobody wanted to go to training colleges. So we introduced trainee allowances to entice people to come into training colleges. That is why it was introduced. Now we've upgraded them. They are universities. And so people are going to Cape Coast, people are going to the colleges of education to get university degrees to become professional graduate teachers. And you're paying one group trainee allowances, and one group you say, no, you go and take student loans. It doesn't make for equity. That's the first issue. And the second issue is, as the numbers increased, you understand, it became a burden on the budget, and so they issued what they call the quota. And so each college was giving the number of people it could admit that the budget could sustain the training allowances. And so all the colleges were half empty. And if we want to accelerate the training of teachers to replace so that we don't have untrained teachers teaching our children, then we need to fill those colleges. And so we said, okay, now that these are colleges of education, let's take the trainee allowances away, one for equity so that they are at par with their colleagues, and give them student loans. You don't pay the loan until you get a job as a teacher. And then fill up the vacancies. And so since we took away the trainee allowances and replaced them with the student loan, we have increased enrollment into the colleges of education by 63%. It means that 63% of the students who are there today and angry about student teacher trainee allowances would not be there if we're still paying trainee allowances. And so it gives more people the opportunity to be trained. It makes us train more teachers so that we can take out all the untrained teachers in the system and be able to post qualified teachers into our schools. That is the explanation about teacher trainee allowances. With nursing trainee allowances, we decided that we're going to migrate them onto student loan. And so we were to withdraw the nursing trainee allowances. But this even, it's not a policy that started. It came from the previous administration in 2008. There's a management letter they wrote saying that we're going to withdraw nursing training allowances and use the funds instead to ensure that they created more opportunities for nurses to be employed. And so when we came, that policy had been indicated for the budget of that year, but we didn't start implementing. We looked at it and said, okay, let's move them onto a student loan. Then our attention was drawn that they don't qualify because the Student Loan Act does not allow you to put nursing trainees on student loan. And so we set up a committee to look at it, and the committee said, okay, amend the law so that you can put them on student loan, but while you're amending the law, give them an abated allowance so that they're able to look after themselves.
All right, 80 enum ena yeto abane wie 2016 2017 ena nanado dan kwakufu ado di ni boshe so say ye kan ye beye it already launch the restoration no ema September mu ana say onitua training nurses no ka ebusia launch ne course na omampeni nanado dan kwakufu ado nasama o kan ni.
To this end, for the 2017-2018 academic year, effective September 2017, 58,000 health trainees, comprising nurses and midwives, will be paid their allowance of 400 Ghana cedis per person for each of the 10 months of the academic year. This means government will be spending a total of 232 million Ghana cedis for this academic year. The e-switch platform will be used to effect payment, as it will ensure convenience, prompt payment, and accountability.
All right, abusia enti yakonko tie nia training nurses ni bi so ka bra omanpenin dada John Dramani Mahama e the Upper East region name say media for no bi timi ne training nurses ibon ko no bi sam say so omanpenin in case so to be winning the 2024 general election your expectation from him nurses for you say and say training allowances no be cancel na because ejuma sem why de me ade na nema be yi why not omanpenin dada John Dramani Mahama na cancel. Some are sure no man pennies are responding to this training allowances issue, you know. Memoity and also a media encounter. Make a good tea necessary number. And my review will be subscribed to the channel. We're Lovers TV Africa and of course K-Lover Media. Please subscribe.
We don't want Alawa, we want employment. We want to be employed. Yes, Alawa should be classing and employment should be there. Yes, and our fees is too much.
Now employing us more than 2 years. They are not paying. So once the essence of you promise that we will pay the Alawa, we don't need Alawa again. We go to the hospital. So that when we complete school, we will get employed.
They can't bribe us with the allowance.
Get them to come back. 4 years is better than 8 years. We need Mahama back. If Mahama comes, everything will be fine. We need Mahama. We don't want Bahumia. We need Mahama. We want Mahama.
To bribe us, so We want employment. We don't want
employment.
We don't want
Alawa. We want employment. We need more hospitals. We need more hospitals. More roads. More markets. We don't want digitalization. We don't want Ghana card.
We want to be employed. We need jobs because after completion there are a lot of things that we face. So we need jobs to at least cater for ourselves.
We are supporting JM. No matter what this year.
All right, Abusia, na during his media encounter, no naja media free wonitia na woni bisa ma beninda da John Dramani Mahama say abo ni nurses for the be kan you and ade so one our cancel here oba obey den ama beninda da John Dramani Mahama Abusia oyi nsem na no chichi ni nsem say well Adi me kan yo na se ni ti ana me cancel ye se na o chichiri mu a ma yi video na mo ahwe no na nsi kra no aban we kra ntumi ntia sa allowances ye a osan de back wontumi ntia omo na chese omo shede home left and right na me ba be dia me ba sa me samba bi mu as president ya ne me ye ni
teachers' allowances. What's the use of the reintroduction of teachers' allowances when you can pay them? Nurses' allowances. Government owes, in some cases, 30 months. Some people have gone into school from first year to third year, completed and never got an allowance. Government is pretending to pay the allowances for political expediency. And, well, we were substituting it with a student's loan. The students were not happy, and indeed, let me even explain how we did it. We didn't cancel it at once. We said those who were enjoying the allowances will enjoy it till they complete. So the new ones who came had never had the allowance. We said we'll start you with the student's loan. So it's not like you had the allowance and we took it away. You had never ever been part of the allowance. And so we're phasing out those who were on the allowance and replacing them with those who were going to go on the student's loan. Jack Toronto and his younger brother said they can pay and they will pay, and that I'm a very wicked president to take, the allowance away. But that is it. They are not paying. They owe so many months of arrears. They can't pay NAPCO trainees. They made a lot of noise with NAPCO. You owe them, the children, about 10 months arrears you can't pay. And for the first time even, they can't pay national service allowances. National service allowances have never been in arrears because we don't pay them anything substantial. It is just a stipend. And so every government before this government never ever had national service allowances in arrears. This is the first time this is happening. You said you could pay teacher trainee allowances. Please, I'm appealing on behalf of the trainees again, teachers and nurses, that you pay them their allowances. Even with regards to the teacher trainee allowances, what they've done is they've reduced the allowance and split it in half and giving the students 200 cedis, I think, and they're using 200 cedis for their feeding. In our time, we're feeding them free of charge. Government was buying their feeding, and then we're giving them the allowance. So even though they've said they are retaining the allowance, one, the allowance doesn't come. Two, when it comes, it's reduced, slashed by more than 50%, and half of it is used to feed them, and they're giving the remaining little. But all those allowances are in arrears, and I think that government should look at it. We will keep the status quo as it is, because for the nurses particularly, under the student loan scheme, they don't qualify. And so we need to make some amendments before we can put them on students' loan. So we'll keep the status quo, like I said, until we're able to make the necessary amendments to transition everybody onto a student's loan. And we're calling it the enhanced student loan because we need to increase the amount so that it's meaningful for the student to be able to do something with it. And as soon as the student gets a job, we must have a mechanism to start deducting it so that we can use it to support the next batch of students coming.